going to start off with an invocation tonight, and James is actually going to lead us.
All right. Thank you for bringing us here together. Thank you for all the many foods and blessings you've given us. Help us to be appreciative of everything you've given us, and help us learn to not take things for granted. In the name of Christ.
And thank you. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. We've got the flag over there in the corner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You can all have a seat. All right. If you want to look at your newsletter, we're a little slimmed down this week, but we have a great presentation tonight. And really what we have coming up is our Camp Enterprise. It's still coming up in September 10th, on September 10th. So we're still working on getting some people lined up to come out for that. And then we're going to do Restaurant Week is next Tuesday. So for those of you that want to come out to that, we're going to head out to Ocean Air next Tuesday night. Have 7 o'clock reservations. So that should be a lot of fun. Let me know if you guys are able to come. I know we've got a few people already signed up. So that should be a good time. And just want to introduce one of our guests that we have. Charlotte Burns is here. She's back to join us. So welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming to join us again. And would now also like to introduce our speakers. John, I'm sorry, but I didn't actually have your information. John Adams, though, and Cody Caudle. Perfect. Just like the clothes. They are with the organization called Give an Animal. And what they do is they work with, which I just heard, just learn kind of companies like Heifer International, which I know some of us here are familiar with, in that they encourage just life-changing gifts of animals to families that are in developing countries. And Cody has been with the group for a while now. He's done a lot of volunteer type of things within his career with the Frisco YMCA board, member of the Red Cross Disaster Action Team, went to Dallas Baptist University. Here, did you go out there?
I did not.
Okay, just seems like just college and after?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I'm sorry, I should have said the next paragraph. Originally from New Mexico. So we're excited about hearing Cody and John talk to us about Give an Animal. And for those of you that are here, you can see all the great shirts that they provide. It's very cool. Anytime, I'll let them actually talk about it, but you have the ability to get one of those shirts today, maybe. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Rotary, I mean, it's a privilege to be a part of the Rotary because of the good things that you do. We spoke at the Frisco Rotary just this past Thursday. Went extremely well received, and I think that's how you guys got our contact information. And since then, it's just exploded into, I think we have like 7 Rotary bookings. And so we're kind of glad to be a part of the Rotary family because of the ideals. And it's not surprising when I meet some of you guys and we start talking about this kind of stuff. We really align on the same page, and so it's an audience that really connects with our cause. So we're with Give an Animal, and it's actually an idea that just started 2 weeks ago, believe it or not, and so it's all happened really quickly. And I'll kind of get into a little bit of those details then and how it's all come about. But it's important to kind of give some background information. I'm from Hobbs, New Mexico, which is a tiny little town in southeast New Mexico. There's not a bigger town for 2 hours away, that'd be like Lubbock or Odessa, so like West Texas, desert-like. I came to school at Dallas Baptist University. John, if you get the next slide there. And I don't know if you guys have ever been on a campus. It's in Southwest Dallas. It's on the rolling hills, a beautiful campus. It's liberal arts, which means you can go there and study anything. It's not just theology. And it has about a little over 5,000 students. Well, they have this globe on campus for the Great Commission. I show this to you just so you can understand that the way that I looked at the world whenever I was growing up was quite limited and different than how DBU exposed me to the rest of the world. they really encourage students to go out, do different mission trips and volunteer opportunities around the world. And that's how I got kind of committed in doing a lot of trips that I went on. The first one I went on was to Swaziland in Africa, and actually John and I went on that together, and that's probably one of the first times I actually met John. I don't know if we really knew each other back then. It was about 6 years ago, I guess. 2004. Yeah, 2004. And so it was at this trip, and it was the first summer, at DBU I committed that each summer I wanted to go to another country and just serve in some kind of way. I didn't want to take summer classes because that didn't sound like fun to me, but traveling did. And so this one was the first one. We went to Swaziland, Africa, which at the time had the world's highest HIV rate. And we were going to each school in the nation to talk about abstinence education. And so this was just one of the schools we were at, and these kids were dogpiling me, and I remembered this not because of all the joy that are on the kids' faces here, but it was about 10, 20 feet away from here that a kid came up to me before this picture was taken, and I was eating a lunch, which in my opinion was awful. We could tell you stories about the food, but I had an orange, and a kid came up to me and said, I haven't had anything to eat since last Thursday. And this was like on a Wednesday or something like that. And in America, you could tell them to go to a dozen different government agencies to get food. You could tell them to go down to a local church or the food bank. A lot of opportunities. And as a student and not knowing what I was going to do with my life, and was just kind of out there after my freshman year, this is whenever I really committed myself that I wanted to really promote the ideal of democracy and social justice around the world. And it started opening up my mind to what's going on and what difference does the way we treat others and the way that we deal with money and policies and things like that. I mean, how great would it be if they were able to go to school for free, or if they were able to at least provided for. There's few things in the world that I can sympathize with, and that's just my honest heart. But I mean, when there's orphans and widows, that's those are people that I think we should take care of. I mean, it's hard otherwise. And so this was my first trip to do that. And then this next picture we have is a couple of summers later, when this was in Honduras. I went to an orphanage, and they had a little over 400 kids. And I just picked this up after we started with Give an Animal, and I started thinking about what was my involvement with animals on some of these trips. And here we helped raise 1,200 chickens. John, get the next slide. And here's a picture of the chickens. So I was in charge of coming up with like a water system and feeding system for all these chickens. And we had tons of freezers. But that's how all the orphans ate. We had chicken and lots of ramen and lots of rice. But this was provided in protein form. It's a little different than what we do because these chickens aren't raised